Hi folks, today I am going to make sweet onion relish. Really good on a hot dog. I had it years ago when I was a kid. We used to go to auctions, and you would go to the auctions that had, you know, the church groups that would come and do the lunches for them, and somebody would have home canned sweet onion relish. And now these aren't sweet onions, but I'm going to go ahead and make it because you add sugar anyway. But I bought a bunch on sale, and some of them I can't use really because they're already sprouting. But I'm going to go ahead and I've got, actually I have about 15 pounds. So I need 5 pounds per batch. I'm not sure how many actual batches I'm going to make of the sweet onion relish, but that is what we're going to make today. So I'm going to get these chopped up, and I need about 10 cups for this batch. So they said 5 pounds or roughly 10 cups. So I'm going to come back when I've got these all cleaned up and chopped and ready to go. And then we'll show you what else needs to be done. You are going to need sugar and vinegar for this. So we'll come back then. Oh, and celery seed, that's right. So we'll come back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, I've got all the onions chopped. I've got my pot on the stove here heating up because I am hot water bath canning this. So that means that I need to sterilize the jars. So I'm going to bring them up to a boil and boil them for 10 minutes so that they'll be sterilized for me to use. To get the onion relish ready, you're going to take a stock pot or your big pot, 8 quarts at least. And you're going to put in your onions. I hope this pot's big enough. I don't really know for sure. It's the biggest one I have besides the one that I'm using for a hot water bath can. So there's 8 cups and the other 2. So we have 10 cups of chopped onions. Then we're going to add 2 1/4 cups of vinegar. I'm going to go ahead and get this turned on because we are going to bring this to a boil. We're going to add 1 cup of sugar. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of celery seed. My tablespoon doesn't fit in there very good. 2 tablespoons of celery seed and 2 tablespoons of salt. So we're going to blend this up real well. And I've already turned the heat on because what we're going to do is bring this to a boil. We want the sugar to dissolve, and I'm sure the onions will probably wilt a bit in it too, I'm sure. Once this comes to a boil, then we are going to boil it for 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is done, then we'll be ready to pack it into our sterilized jars. And like I said, they say if you can in a canner, you do not have to sterilize your jars unless it just makes you feel better. If you can a hot water bath, then you need to sterilize your jars because it does not get as hot inside. So we're going to wait for this because it is going to take a little bit before it comes to a boil. I have it on a little burner, so it takes a while. And I'll just keep stirring it, make sure it doesn't stick. Once it comes to a boil, like I said, you're going to boil it for 10 minutes. Then after 10 minutes, it's ready to ladle into your hot jars. So we'll come back when we're ready for that. Alright, well we're back, and I reread the instructions and I told you to boil this for 10 minutes, but you should bring it to a boil, turn it down, and simmer for 10 minutes. I will try to put some words on there so in case you don't watch all the way, you'll catch that before you boil it for 10 minutes. My jars are sterilized, so we're going to start filling them up. So we'll start with this one, and they are very hot. as is the liquid that we're putting in. It's hot. We're going to fill to a 1/2 inch headspace. I may have got a little too much. Let's see here. Where's my mark? 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is right there, so I'm just about right on it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it the way it is. We'll debubble it. And then I'm going to set this to the side. And we'll get one more here. We'll do another one for you. I'm doing 1/2 pints because I don't know how much, once we open it, I don't know how much we'll go through. I maybe should have done, pints, but we're going to go with this. Didn't fill my ladle up quite as full this time. Want a little bit more onion in there, not all juiced. Like I said, we're going to a 1/2 inch headspace. You can check that pretty easy. I actually could add just a bit more. Looks like. Whoop, that might have been too much. Let's see. Now I think we're okay. We'll debubble it. Actually, I probably could have put a little bit more in this other one, maybe. I think we're gonna actually. I'm not quite sure how many 1/2 pints this will make. I think it only makes 5 pints, so it should be 10 1/2 pints, which is what I have in the hot bath canner. Might have to remove a little bit of that, maybe. I know it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's like way too big. Let's use our stirring spoon here. We're just going to take just a tad out. I hate having way too much and then it's not right. We're going to take our paper towel. I'm just going to dip it in some warm water. And then we're going to wipe the top of our jars off. Get this one over here so you can see it. I'm going to wipe that off. I did sterilize my lid since we are hot water bath canning. Finger tight. And since these are hot, we're going to use these to put them back into the canner. There they are. Oops, get it down low enough you can see it. So we're going to get that put in here. I do have a tray in the bottom of this so that the jars do not sit on the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest of our jars. And then we'll come back when we're ready to turn the hot water bath on. Alright, so I've got them all done. I only ended up actually with 9 1/2 pints. So, and one of them actually was probably about 1 inch headspace. So it'll be a little lower, but I didn't want to waste it. So I went ahead and canned it. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on high. Bring this up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, we'll put the lid on too, of course. Once it starts boiling, then we are going to start our timing, and we're going to time 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, we'll shut it off. You can take the lid off and let it cool just a bit so that when you take the jars out, it doesn't shock them as much. We'll set them on a clean, dry towel on the counter and then let them cool. And we'll have some wonderful sweet onion relish. So we're going to come back when this is done processing.